The sky darkened suddenly. The wind blew so hard, the palace banners tore from their poles. The trees shook, though there was no rain. Incense filled the air. The priest poured libations to the ancestors and called into the night. Spirits of the past, speak! Why do you trouble the house of Umudike? Long ago, the kingdom of Umudike was ruled by a king feared by his temper. Among his warriors was a man named Okeke, strong, loyal, and full of courage. But Okeke made one mistake. He fell in love with the king's daughter, Princess Adanna. When the king found out, his rage burned hotter than the sun. He accused Okeke of dishonor and betrayal, and on a night with no moon, the king gave order. They dragged Okeke into a palace courtyard, tied him to a stake, and piled dry firewood around him. The drums beat slowly, like a heart about to stop. As the flames began to rise, Okeke's voice rang out over the cracking fire. King of Umudike, you have taken my life, but I will return. I will take what you love most. The fire roared. His scream mixed with hiss of burning wood. By morning, all that remained was a pile of cold ash. Many seasons passed. In a faraway village, a baby was born, but his birth was not normal. The midwife swore the oil lamp in the hearth flickered between red and blue flames. The wind outside howled like 100 voices. A pot of water shattered on its own. They named him Kalu. As he grew, animals avoided him. Dogs barked at him for no reason. He hid under huts. Crows gathered on his roof at night. People said he sometimes talked in his sleep, in a man's voice that was not his own. Old women whispered, "This one carries a shadow wind." Years later, Carlo wandered into Umudike during the moon festival. That day, the sky darkened suddenly. The wind blew so hard, the palace banners tore from their poles. The trees shook, though there was no rain. The air was heavy and cold. In the palace garden, Princess Eda was alone when the wind came. The leaves swayed in a circle round her feet. She shivered. This never happens here," she whispers. From between the trees, a tall man stepped out. He wore a simple cloth. His eyes were deep and unreadable. "My name is Kalu," he said softly. The princess felt a strange pull towards him. She did not know why, or why the garden seems colder when he smiled. Soon, she called him often. They spoke under the moon, and she laughed more than she had in years. Against all tradition, she asked her father for Carlo's hand in marriage. The king, thinking him just another traveler, agreed. They married. The kingdom celebrated. Drums pounded, dancers spun in circles, and the air was thick with the smell of roasted goats. Carlo moved into the princess' quarters. He was gentle, kind, patient, and always watching. But sooner after, strange things began. Servants claimed to hear footsteps in empty corridors. Doors creaked open by themselves. At night, the princess sometimes felt cold fingers brush her cheek. But when she looked, Carlo was asleep. One night, she woke to hear a whisper close her ears. "I told you I would return." She turned her head and saw Carlo sitting on the bed beside her, staring with unblinking eyes. Her heart raced. She turned quickly towards the other side of the bed and froze. Carlo was there too, sleeping peacefully, snoring softly. Her mouth went dry. She looked back. The first Carlo had vanished. Only the sound of the wind filled the room. Terrified, the princess begged the palace priest to find the cause of the strange events. The prince gathered the elders and prepared a summary ritual in the courtyard. Drum beat slowly. Incense filled the air. The priest poured libations to the ancestors and called into the night. "Spirits of the past, speak! Why do you trouble the house of Umudike?" The fire pit in the center of the courtyard suddenly blazed high, without anyone touching it. In the flames, a shape formed. A man tied to a stake, flames licking his body. The voice came deep and echoing. "You killed me in this very place. I was Okeke. Now I walk in the skin of another, and I have come for your bloodline." The elders trembled back. The princess' news gave way. That night, the storm returned. The wind howled through the palace. The lamps went out one by one. The princess lay in bed, clutching a charm the priest had given her. Slowly, Carlo rose from bed, but his face was no longer tied to his. It was Okereke's, burned, twisted, eyes full of rage. "I told you I would return," he said again. The princess screamed. The sound was swallowed by the storm. By morning, she was gone. Her lifeless body found in the garden. Carlo has vanished. The king wept until he could no more weep. The priest warned him, "The fire's debt has been paid, but the shadow still walks." And to this day, the people of Umudike say that on nights when the wind changes and the skies turn red, if you look into the garden, you might see a man standing there, wearing the face of one you love, but with eyes that are not his own. Subscribe to my channel for more amazing videos.